The World Championship less than a week away. So let's enjoy the flamboyant action of iRacing Dirt Night as we welcome you to Lucas Oil Raceway from Indianapolis in the USA, which hosts Week 8 Season 2 action of the iRacing Red Bull Global Rallycross Series. All coverage today on Racespot TV, streaming live on iRacingLive as usual from the 1.27 kilometer, 0.79 mile clockwise layout of Lucas Oil Raceway. 5 turns out there on the racetrack. Tarmac section for most of the lap. It's mostly on that banked oval, as you can see there in the backdrop. 12 degrees of banking around there. Then there's a dirt section through the middle part of the lap with a very, very entertaining jump. You'll see the driver scramble for position in those first few sectors with lap times around the 40 to 41 second range, depending on how alienating you are to your competitors. Good afternoon, everybody. Jonathan Simon on hand in the commentary booth alongside Randolph Chenowth as usual. We're your commentary team for the World Championship for Red Bull GRC, the rest of the series. Welcome aboard, Randy. We're officially now confirmed.
Yep, hashtag confirmed, and I couldn't be more excited. Should be a good season opener. And while we keep getting trolled with the split counts for these little official races, we're going to have something like 30 drivers next week, or 27, I think is technically the official count. So it's going to be in for a good show.
Yep, definitely. We're looking at Josh Fox right now, who currently leads the timing screens. We're in qualifying at the moment with 2 minutes 45 left on the clock, as you can see on the top left side of your screen. That Joker section, which we just crossed there on the inside, Randy, this is one of my most hated Joker laps in all of GRC. You're suffocated going to the inside of turn 1. You see a lot of drivers get that wrong.
Yeah, the Joker lap here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, it is definitely with 100%, I think, the most hated Joker lap, not only in sim, but in real life as well. I know when the real series came here last year, the real drivers were not fans of that Joker lap either, as Bobby Zielinski goes second on the timing sheets. So it's a Joker lap that's caused issues in real life, it's caused issues in the sim, but it also makes for some hectic moments the way it funnels you down into turn 1. Oftentimes one of the few occasions to see the drivers really use the handbrake in this series, as they pretty much just try to hoon it down through the inside and yoink it and just get the car angled off.
Yeah, so here's Bobby Zielinski. Now, he could have won at Sonoma a couple of weeks ago.
And that's the wall.
Again, oh, yeah, a few mistakes for him. And he's starting to butcher the end of the jump, isn't he? But now, I don't know, for him, he's just going to avoid making mistakes today, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely does. He's sort of been in a rut the last season and a half. He's really struggled as all the drivers complete the qualifying and cut us a little bit short. And that means, Johnny, it's time to go down the grid for heat race number 1.
Yep, so it's Josh Fox who will start at the front with Stelian Cheplevsky and Thomas Gerstenberg. Daniel Mitrani Fenalosa will round out your 4-car field. So that's your first heat. We'll have a second heat afterwards. No consolation race, of course. Only 8 drivers out here today. And that will mean we'll go straight to the feature. So this will be 5 laps of action. Nobody's taken to the grid. Oh, no, they have. There we go. So all taken to the grid right now. Ready to go here. Lights illuminate. Josh Fox on the inside. Look out for him. Here they go into turn 1. Oh, Fox, bit of contact there with Gerstenberg. Oh no, Cheplevsky, excuse me, Gerstenberg's gone to the inside, and here they go now across the main stretch to begin the race. Joker lap already for Josh Fox. He gets that out of the way quickly.
So down the inside of turn 1, you see him funnel 3 wide for a moment. Stelian Cheplevsky going to cut it to the inside here for turn 2 and then through turn 3. This right-hander, and it's going to be the one. It's Stelian Cheplevsky who manages to get his way through. Josh Fox going to cycle into second. Then you have Gerstenberg and then Daniel Fenalisa rounding out the tail end of the field in the Soul Ford Fiesta. But now they come into the hairpin. Quick yoink of the handbrake perhaps, then all the way around 180 degrees back up onto the oval.
Yeah, here they go now. So this will end the first lap sometime soon. Fenalosa at the back just has no pace at the moment, so he has to keep within the clutches of Gerstenberg in front. A lot of contact at the start, but there's Cheplevsky now taking to the Joker. So this is Josh Fox's time to pounce the same way Cheplevsky did to him at the same corner. Couldn't do it. Here we enter the dirt section at the moment, right here in this right-hander. Very important to not touch that tire barrier on the inside. You see a lot of drivers make that mistake.
Yeah, it's an easy mistake to make here at Lucas Oil, especially the way those A couple of those tire ballers are set up. The one at turn 1 is particularly terrible, and this one as well. Really difficult to get around. You see Josh Fox doesn't quite snag that hairpin the way you normally like to. They work themselves through the oval and back on toward the front straight. One thing to keep in mind of this racetrack, though, Johnny, is that on the start, sometimes that high line is where you want to be. Indianapolis Raceway Park, it's got variable banking, which means the top is steeper, more steeply banked than the bottom of the racetrack, and because of that, oftentimes the driver who's technically starting third, who's on that outside groove, can really get a lot of momentum on the starts of these races and can really make something of it down into turn 1. We've seen that several times on Dirt Night last season.
Yeah, we saw Gerstenberg at the start, who got a nice little jump. He's still in third, though, and he had an opportunity to slot himself up. So here's where Randy's talking about. You exit this corner, and you see a lot of drivers taking to the high line the same way Cheplevsky and Josh Fox do on screen at the moment. Look at the backdrop there. You see Gerstenberg and Penalosa country mile behind, and we're coming towards the end of the stint. Lap 4 or 5 here for Heat 1. It looks like this field is starting to spread out, unfortunately.
Yeah, already spread out for Heat 1, but I think you're going to expect that. People aren't going to get overly aggressive here in a 4-car heat race where they're guaranteed a transfer. I think it's going to be that 8-car main event where all the action comes from. A little bit of contact in the back. I think that was just someone landing the jump a little bit not so nicely, but as they go through this long right-hander that's dirt, which I think is really the defining factor of this layout of the track, that long right-hander is so much fun. And then when you just hit this hairpin back up onto the oval, it feels great as well. They're going to start their final lap right now, and still just needs to not Zelensky this, and he should be in for a heat race win.
Yeah, exactly. Final lap of the race, as you can see on screen. And this is a walk in the park right now for Stelian Cheplevsky. It all counted at the start. He managed to nail turn number 1 as Josh Fox took to the Joker. And then the Joker lap for him, he was comfortably in P1. Over the jump one more time. And they will be on top for the feature race at the moment here. Stelian Cheplevsky through the final corner one last time. They go to the banking. A terrific win here, Randy, for Stelian Cheplevsky, as long as the car doesn't break down.
Well, I don't think we'll have any issues with that, so Stelian's going to comfortably take that race win. Then, as we bring up the results on the left-hand side of your screen, Josh Fox, Gerstenberg, and Daniel Matrani are going to round out your field.
Yep, so Pelosa will still go through. Fenalosa, excuse me. And we will have a look at your grid for heat number 2. And there it is on the left-hand side of the screen. Bobby Zelensky in P1. Let's hope he can snag a win here. But Johan Harth, Julian Shine, 2 strong Red Bull GRC drivers will be on the front row with Zelensky. And then Robertson behind will try and slice his way through wherever he can. There is Julian Shine on screen. He's on the outside, so look out for him, as Randy talked about. Engines rev. Heat number 2 coming up. Wonderful start from the inside drivers there. Have a look at Johan Hart, though. He's into the lead. He's tapped around, just saves it. Oh, 4-wheel drive to the max there. And that was Bobby Zelensky just trying to find a way past, but couldn't. Here they go into turn number 1. Julian Shine in P1. Zelensky to the Joker, whereas he's going to slot out in comparison to the 2. Just gets the inside line there on the driver of Johan Hart.
So Bobby's going to cycle into that second spot. I don't think he's going to be very happy to give up that lead position, but he needs to not worry about too much about it just yet. Through this penultimate long right-hander, they head down towards the hairpin. I don't think anyone's close enough to make a move just yet. This is a potential passing zone where they work themselves back up onto the oval. Who's going to get the traction? I think Zelensky doesn't get a great run. Look for Johan Hart to maybe make something of this. Maybe hit the Joker down here into 1.
Yep, this is very important right now. So Shine continues, but Johan Hart, as you say, goes straight for the Joker. He didn't get it right, though. He didn't. So he's taken it now, but he's still in third as the tire baller gets kicked back onto the racetrack.
Rip.
So John Robertson just biding his time at the moment. I love that camera shot there through the dirt section. Now they rise over the jump. I think we should use that for the rest of the event, too.
Yeah, just maybe, as Johan Hart has not yet won this race, but he's trying to chase down that big orange punching bag, Bobby Zelensky. See the way he sets up for this hairpin, and he's much quicker to the apex of it, but Zelensky, I feel, gets a much better run out of it as they head down now towards start-finish once again. See a couple tires they use on that grass on the left-hand side. Then down this front straightaway, I believe all of your leaders have used the Joker lap at this point. So now it's just going to be a matter of who's going to be where, but this is a much more tightly contested heat.
Yep. Oh, look how close they are here, though. Oh, it looks like a drifting event. Here's Zelensky for the lead. He got it done. Something almost rare you see here in the heats. Zelensky slots himself back into the lead, and Johan Hart is going to have nothing of Julian Shine. He wants to make his way past here. He's going for the inside. Bit of contact between the two. Not enough, though, to send Julian Shine around. And now they're going to be alongside each other, the two leaders here for P number 1.
For 2x2, and I was actually incorrect. The second place runner now of Julian Shine still owes us a Joker lap, and the Joker delta is very slow in comparison to the regular lap. We see a lot of Jokers. Basically, the average is something like 2 to 4 seconds is basically the shortcut advantage that you get as they work themselves through this tight infield section just a little bit once again. Here, it's only about half a second you really pick up in terms of lap time, Johnny, so you really do have to work a lot more to make a pass than you do at some of the other tracks that we have. You really have to be close to someone even to get the advantage with the Joker, and then you have to get the Joker absolutely perfect. That's what we saw there. That last time through didn't quite happen as the race clutch teammates are not. No love lost between them.
No, definitely not. But what we're seeing right there is Julian Shine here as the drivers are about to begin the final lap. He is not quick on the dirt sections. Here he goes for the Joker, though. And how's this going to gift his racing chances? Oh, blocks the apex. Johan Hart, there's nowhere through. That's a brilliant move, but Johan Hart says, get out of the way, mate. And he's back in a P2.
He's going to manage to get that one done. Well executed by Johan Hart to get that run. So one of the problems with drivers funnel out of the Joker here, they can really stack up. And, well, with that, I think that's going to basically single file everybody out, give everyone a bit of space. John Robertson in the back, he's not going to be able to make anything of this, but I think that number 4 driver in that bright orange Volkswagen is going to be more than happy as he comes off of turn 4 of the oval.
Yeah, good stuff from Bobby Zelensky, and he will win heat number 2 here for the Red Bull Global Rallycross Series for iRacing Dirt Night. Johan Hart finds himself in second at the end, passes Julian Shine in the final lap. Now, Julian had a chance there, Randy, as John Robertson also comes home in 4th. He had a chance.
He definitely did.
To finish in second, but anyway, didn't get it done in the end. We're going to go straight to the feature. We've skipped the consolation round. Who's your tip to win as we look at the grid on the left-hand side?
Well, I think Heat 2 was honestly a little bit more stacked than Heat 1. Stillian is always a favorite. I'm going to say that driver in 3rd place, Josh Fox. I think he's going to get a good start here. I think he's going to lead early, and I think if you can get a lead early in this series, you can always normally bring home a win. So I think Fox might just have the advantage here up top.
Yep, look out for any driver that takes the Joker on the first lap. And so that is allowed in this series. We've seen a couple of drivers do that today. But Chenowth has the inside, Zelensky in the middle, Fox on the outside on the front row. Here they go for the final time. Wonderful start from Chenowth on the inside. He is not going to be bothered into turn number 1 here. But have a look at Bobby Zelensky there. He is in no man's land on the inside line. Now the outside and speeds away into P1. He's going to take to the Joker for the first lap as well. Well executed by Bobby Zelensky.
And he's gonna be able to take the lead there. So Bobby Zelensky gets out in front early. A little bit of hiccuping in the middle of the field. Stillian Chiplewski goes from 1st back to 4th. As now who's that in that race clutch Volkswagen? It's going to be Johan Hart in 2nd with Josh Fox and teammate Stillian Chiplewski. They're going to be side by side through this long right-hander on the dirt section as they come up towards the hairpin. And will Bobby be harassed by Johan? No, he will not into the hairpin.
Here they go. Oh, this is just chaotic here on the first lap. This is brilliant. We waited quite a while for this feature race. Well, not really. Waited like 10 minutes, but here we go. They end the first lap, and it's Bobby Zelensky leading from Johan Hart. Behind him, Chenowth, who took to the Joker. It was Josh Fox, wasn't it? He'll still end up in 3rd. He's going to block the apex. But have a look at the speed of Johan Hart here, Randy. He is extremely close to Zelensky for the lead.
Yeah, he definitely is. Johan is really harassing the back of that orange Volkswagen as they go up and over the jump once again for the lap 2 of number 10. As they work themselves once again through this long hairpin, and Johan still owes us a Joker lap. So, actually, no, I take that back. He took it on the race lead. It's not so, excuse me, on the opening lap. So your top 2 have Jokered, and your 3rd place runner is Jokered as well. I think it's Chiplewski and then a variety of people a little bit deep down the field that still owe us one.
Yeah, exactly. So Josh Fox comes across the line. He just took to the Joker that lap round. Let's see if anybody else behind takes to it. Nobody I can see. And so the leaders will remain in formation yet another time. Look how close the top 4 though are. It's Zelensky from Hart, from Fox, from Chenowth. You talk about a stacked field, Randy. We've got it right here.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of world championship drivers are right here running. And you see Bobby Zalinski starting to sort of get some rhythm and get some consistency that we've not seen from him in this series. We've seen him have fantastic races in the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing series. Saw him have really, I think, a dominant performance at Richmond, the way he's able to go up and down the field 3 or 4 different times. So maybe he's starting to get a bit of a rhythm, and we've seen him lead a couple of these races thus far. And let's see if he's finally going to be able to close one of these things out.
Yep. Oh, Tyre Bullard over there on the racetrack in the middle. Have a look at Josh Fox, though. Johan Hart out of the way. What's happening? Johan Hart. Yeah. So whether there was contact or not, we'll have a look at a replay possibly, but you don't want to build that reputation when you're taking drivers off the racetrack.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to get physical at GRC, and to be honest, Johan kind of started it with his own mistake of knocking that Bullard out of the way. I think Johan had damage and was off pace because of it, so there was a little bit of contact, but I don't really think it was Josh Fox shoving Johan out of the way per se. I think it was just Johan Hart that ended up in the way, and Josh Fox couldn't really react to that in time at the beginning lap number 5 of 10, and now Bobby Zalinski, he goes from having a gap of maybe about just under a second to nearly 2 as Josh Fox cycles into that second spot.
Yeah, cannot blame Josh Fox for that at all. As Johan Hart just losing his cool. I don't know what you want to put to it. So Cheplevsky, for some reason, he's dropped to the back of the field here. So something's gone wrong for Stelian Cheplevsky. Am I wrong with that, or am I correct? Timing screens show he's an 8. So something's going on for Stelian.
Yeah, I just think he's not had the greatest race. There's a bit of damage on the back of that Volkswagen. I'll have to take a look at the lap times. And, oh, you know what? Last lap, he was 8 seconds off the pace. So I think we had a mistake from Stelian last time through. And unfortunately, it's put him for the back of the field. Not been the sort of day that Stelian would want.
No, definitely not. So he was in 4th before that. Gerstenberg now climbs to the top 4. Gerstenberg, though, is a couple of seconds behind Hart for that 3rd position. There we have a look at Thomas Gerstenberg behind them. Daniel Penalosa, John Robertson as well in that striking Volkswagen livery.
Oh, we had a problem with Julian Shine.
Yeah, Julian Shine's out of the race here.
Not sure what's happened to Julian. I'll rewind the cameras back, see if we can get a look. As let's see if he's out there on the racetrack. Nope, we just missed it. So rewind it just a little bit further back. Let's see what happened to that race clutch Ford Fiesta.
Oh, God.
Hardware failure?
Hardware failure, or is he rage quitted?
I think that's a hardware failure. I don't know. It could go either way.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It's very odd. It looked like he wasn't even pushing for the first corner there, first couple of corners, and then he just went off the racetrack. So something's weird. Well, something weird has gone on for Julian Shine. He's out of the event here. He will finish plumb last for the feature race for iRacing Dirt Night here. Week 8 at Lucas Oil Raceway or Indianapolis Motorsport Park. Do you like the Lucas Oil name?
Oh, I mean, to me, Indianapolis Raceway Park is a historical name of this racetrack. Also, fun fact that I learned the other night: this place actually has a used to have a 2.5 mile road course. It still technically exists, but has fallen out of use, so it's sort of in disrepair. But no, it's Lucas Oil, of course, a fantastic company, sponsors a lot of racing, but Indianapolis Raceway Park is sort of the historic name that I will always sort of initially think of this place, or just IRP for short. It's difficult to call some of these tracks by their new name, Johnny, when they pick up sponsors. It's like trying to call Mosport Canadian Tire. It's not the name that initially comes through, as I believe it's Gerstenberg, who's that fighting with Robertson. You got Cheplevsky, who just picked up a spot on Robertson, and now Frenelisa is going to be the next victim in line.
Yeah, Cheplevsky has the pace, so after that mistake, he should be able to make his way past here. Look at the speed he's got on the main straight, and he hasn't even taken to the Joker. We've forgotten about that. Cheplevsky here for the Joker. Oh, goodness me. Almost contact between the two, and Cheplevsky remains then in P number 6, so he hasn't gotten past Fenalosa.
Not just yet, but I think he's definitely got the speed. He's going to head up and over the jump, but he wants every spot he can possibly get as they work themselves through the long right-hander. Meanwhile, out in front, Bobby Zalinski's taken to that front straightaway with a 1.8 second lead. He's going to start his final lap right now, but we need to keep an eye on Stelian here and this battle with that number 8 Ford Fiesta out in front of him.
Yep, definitely. So it's the final lap of the race for your leader, Bobby Zalinski. These drivers will cross the line right there, and they will begin their final time around. So time running out for Stelian Cheplevsky. A lot of damage to that Volkswagen too. He's got to get it right here on the final lap, but we'll have a look just a short moment's time at Bobby Zalinski, who's coming across the final corner now.
Still he made another mistake.
Oh, goodness. And Cheplevsky, it hasn't been the day for him, but it has been the day for Bobby Zelensky here. He will cross the line and take victory for Week 8 Season 2 action of the iRacing Red Bull Global Rallycross Series. Brilliant victory for your man from California. Josh Fox will round out that second position of the podium with Johan Hart in third. Behind them, Gerstenberg, brilliant stuff in fourth. Pelosa crosses the line in fifth. So where does Cheplevsky ends up? He ends up still ahead of John Robertson. John Robertson actually,
I don't actually
came home in seventh.
I don't actually know what happened to Robertson. He had a big incident. I saw him hit. I think he took the Joker the final time. We'll see if I can bring it up.
He crashed. I don't want to create a spoiler for everybody. You're looking at the replay now, but he may have.
Yeah, no spoilers. Not everyone's seen Infinity War yet.
This will be a while here. But he's coming across the final corner there. So this is the penultimate lap. He's going to begin the final lap.
He's coming to the white, correct.
Yeah, and then he's going to take the Joker because he hasn't taken it all race. And this could be quite embarrassing if we keep watching this. Yeah.
Oh. I think we need to get an onboard.
That's not a G-rated incident. He got impaled into the barrier. And John Robertson, you'll want to forget that. But look at the tight entry there. That's what's underrated about this Joker. And then it's so difficult.
It's definitely, I think, the hardest Joker of the lot to get right. I mean, and especially because the time advantage is so little, the time gain, you're really putting it all on the line to go through there to pick up about 4 to 5 tenths of a second going into turn one compared to the rest. You know, think about the Joker that you have at Daytona. It's just a nice, easy hairpin compared to this thing. And it's why drivers complained about it in real life as well. I know that there's been things discussed that they could maybe change about it if they were to go to Lucas Oil once again in the real world. But my, oh my, it is it's a difficult one to enter, but we need to go down your post-race results.
We will. And Bobby Zelensky is your victor for the feature race. And your overall standings here, you can see there wins by 2.269 seconds over Josh Fox, who comes home in second. Your two French drivers of Johan Hart and Thomas Gerstenberg come home in the third and fourth positions. Daniel Fenalosa from Iberia in fifth. Wonderful representation of the world there. And then UK and Ireland, Stelian Cheplevsky and John Robertson in sixth and seventh. Julian Shine in the end didn't finish the race. John Robertson basically classified in the end. But issues for Shine, and he had issues during his heat races through those dirt sections. Talking about the Joker though, Randy, and Bobby Zelensky's race there. He took to the Joker on that first lap, and I think that's not what basically won him the race, but that really gifted him some comfort for the rest of the event.
Well, yeah, it's the thing with the Joker here is that because the time gain is so short, there's not a lot of ways for you to really be able to make an advantage of it later in the race. So if you generally the way you want to approach the strategy here in terms of the Joker is concerned is you want to hit it on the first lap as you can, because you're going to have a number of cars that are stacked up and their line is going to be compromised into turn one. They're going to go, potentially 2 by 2 by 2, maybe some 3 wide going into turn one. So if you can get down to that Joker early, you can. But it's really the only time you might be able to make up a lot of time through that Joker of the entire race. And I think we saw that because the only driver who made up spots down through the Joker in this event, I think, was Bobby Zelensky, and I believe it was Johan Hart or Julian Shine. Whichever one of them cycled out into second. They were the only two drivers to pick up spots, whereas everyone else, they would hit the Joker and they basically just funnel behind whoever they were following earlier on. So while I don't think it necessarily won him the race, I think it was just good strategy, being super aggressive to get down there like we saw in the opening lap, that allowed him to get out in front early.
Yep, definitely. So normally we'd love to give you, we'd have a few interviews here. We've got our leader, Bobby Zelensky, who has just come in. Congrats, Bobby Zelensky, winner, Season 2, Week 8 action of the Red Bull Global Rallycross Series. How does it feel to have that tag to your name?
It's great to finally win one of these, especially after the Sonoma incident. Yeah, it's great. It was a really intense start there. It was an intense heat, and just kind of all fell my way. So I'm really happy about this.
Talk about the opening lap of the feature race. You took to the Joker, not the easiest Joker in the world, as we discussed all broadcast, but I think that played to perfection for you. You're in the lead. You managed to get the best jump on Stelian, and it just went perfect from there on in for you.
Yeah, I was actually not too disappointed by not getting, the pole time that Josh did, because I know second place here is starting second on the grid is very good if you get a good start. And Dillian gave me plenty of room, and I just got a great run off the NASCAR turn 4, and I had enough room to cut down right in front of him so I could take the Joker, because I know like every time I'm up in maybe the first row or so and I don't take the Joker on the first lap, I'm getting plowed into. So I had just enough room, and I was like, I gotta take this now. And I've had moments in that Joker where I've crashed, so obviously that runs through your head, but I was able to get through it clean, didn't overshoot the exit of it, and kept the lead there. And the next couple laps were a little troubling. I was trying to get in my groove, but finally got in my groove by lap 3.
Let's not sugarcoat anything. The World Championship's coming up soon. What's your preparation going for that? How's it going?
Well, I guess my preparation's kind of been like the last 2 months. Last couple months I've been really clicking in the rally stuff, so I don't know. I believe the first race is Daytona Long. I would say this was my worst track, just because something goes wrong here at Lucas Oil, but won today, so I got to change that. So I got to do some work at Daytona Long though. Back for pro, I won the race, but I wasn't the fastest, and there was a few guys that were a couple tenths faster than me, so I'll have to work on that. But I'm really excited for the World Championship. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, I got the peak side. That's kind of like, it's fun, but you know, it's a lot more serious. But then you got to be serious for Rallycross. But the racing is just so much more fun. The brawls, you know, bumping and banging. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to start, really.
Yeah, and you could put your name on that. They might give you a real trophy, but if it's not, we'll give you a virtual trophy, and you can put Bobby Zelensky on there, world champion by the end of the year. If you can knock off drivers such as Mitchell, who does this in the real world. Final thing, your thank yous, plug anything you have coming up soon. Feel free to do it.
Big thanks to Virtual Racing School. You'll see me repping them in the World Championship in 6 days' time. Shout out to you guys at Racespot for putting these dirt nights on. It's really cool. Makes this Friday night, you know, 8 Eastern race pretty prestige, you know, have some prestige to it. A lot of fast guys always show up. Nice strength of field. So thank you guys, and yeah, shout out to Nathan Lyon again. I work with him in the rally stuff, and yeah, shout out to him.
There you go, Randy. Bob Zelensky comes home in the first position and takes a victory here for iRacing Dirt Night. I believe Josh Fox is around. He may be in the lobby. We'll drag him in here. And you are speaking to him at the moment. Here we go. Josh Fox with Randolph Chenowth.
Yep. Here with second place finisher of Josh Fox. Josh, you and teammate Stillian got pretty physical with each other at the start of this one. How was that fighting with a teammate like that?
We certainly go at it pretty hard. I mean, we're both really competitive. You know, we had a close call in the heat race, and I saw him, you know, he was kind of forced not to take the Joker on the first lap, and I saw him kind of start sliding on the inside of the first turn in the feature, and I just tried to give him as much room as possible. I didn't want to, you know, have a collision, and, you know, that would ruin the whole feature pretty much. The whole field would have piled into it, but shame what happened to him, but pretty good race overall.
And now talking about the Joker lap here, because, I mean, we saw the only person who's able to really make up spots taken to that shortcut was Bobby Zelensky. How important is it to Joker on that opening lap when people are stacked up going into turn 1? Because it seems like for the most part there's not enough of a time gain for people to really pick up a spot unless you're basically already side by side with somebody.
Yeah, this Joker it's kind of a disaster the way it's put into the track, because, you know, the leader on the first lap definitely has the advantage, and Bobby, you know, he got clear of Stallion, and he was able to take it and run it clear. But anyone else behind to take it, they're coming out next to another car, and it just kills all kinds of momentum. It happened to me in the heat race. I came out, and you know, the run off the banking is just far greater going into that slow left-hander, and you know, it's really tricky. I wish they would figure out something different for the Joker, because it causes a lot of trouble in plenty of races I've been in, especially the pro qualifier race. But I was happy tonight. I think everyone was you know, mostly cool about it, and you know, we didn't really have a big problem.
Now, this is our only dose of Lucas Oil Raceway on the season schedule for this season. Are you happy about that, or do you wish you could run here a second time?
Overall, I do like the track. It's a lot of fun. It's just the whole Joker thing really kind of it's a huge wild card, and it can cause problems, you know, more often than not. We were just lucky tonight that it didn't. So you know, I can't really complain that it's not, you know, on the schedule again. You know, I think all the tracks are generally a lot of fun, so no, not really losing anything.
All right, well, thanks once again, Josh, and congratulations on another strong finish, not only for yourself, but the team over at Vision. Before we let you go, any sponsors you need to thank for tonight?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Second place is kind of getting old, but no sponsors to mention yet. Just got to thank all the guys over there at Vision Racing. They're a great group to work with, and thanks to you guys as well for putting on a great broadcast.
Well, you got a phone call to answer, it sounds like, so you get to that. Good luck to you next season, in this coming season in the World Championship, Josh.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, Johnny, he's another one who doesn't seem to be overly appreciative of the Joker here.
No. And he echoes the sentiment of those real-life drivers as well. And
yeah, Mitchell DeYoung in particular.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if you know the context there. He actually got put out of the real race here when they ran here last season at turn 1. I think it was Patrick Sandell in a Subaru piling into him, coming off the Joker, in fact.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I just have to say one more thing. World Championship in a few days' time, Randy. Not only am I excited for that, but regardless of the calendar or Joker laps or anything of the liking, format and everything, we'll confirm that during the week. Everything will get sorted, but just to see the best drivers in GRC all competing for one big prize is going to be exciting.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that with this Dirt Night season. We saw a lot more competition in season 1, but I think a lot of people, because they're doing so much prep and so much racing, they decided just that they wanted the Fridays off, which I understand. And you know, we're going to have, I think, 23 cars confirmed. iRacing said that they were reserving 3 potential invites, so we'll have to wait and see if there's any drivers that get plopped into the series. We know there was an iRacing van at Travis Pastrana's house, so will we see the number 199 in Red Bull GRC competition? We'll have to wait and see. I don't think that's been confirmed anywhere. I know I would welcome it, but it's going to be an interesting thing to see, and especially this whole month, Johnny. I mean, I know we amp up the month of May here on Racespot, but we have we have 3 world championships starting up. You have, I think, all of the seasons, all of the individual series kind of have some of their biggest races in this month. You know, the VRS iRacing World Championship, the GT Series has a 6-hour race at the Nürburgring. NASCAR Peak has their longest race of the season at Charlotte. You're talking several different Indy 500s that we're bringing you guys here at Racespot. We have one this week with the Indy Elite Series. Then we have the official iRacing Indianapolis 500 a little bit later on in the month. There's a variety of special events that's going to be happening. It's going to be a busy month of May for, I think, all of us involved.
Yeah, and it's all going to be here on Racespot TV and iRacingLive. This is it for our coverage of Dirt Night. Well, not Dirt Night, sorry, Red Bull Global Rallycross Series. There is more Dirt Night coverage coming up. USAC 360 at Charlotte will be up next. Don't leave us, though. I've been Jonathan Simon, Randolph Chenowth alongside me. We'll see you for the World Championship in 6 days' time. And, of course, from Daytona next week for iRacing Dirt Night for the Red Bull Global Rallycross Series. Thanks for joining us.
Kyle Kimball. I am the Manager of Operations in the Motorsports Department for Mazda North American Operations. We are at Bondurant Racing School here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we are putting on the Mazda Road to 24 shootout. We started with 14 qualifiers that submitted business plans to us, and from those 14, we narrowed it down to 4. Those qualifiers were Celine Roland, Tyler Casera, John Allen, and Preston Pardis.
For me, the first session was just, the memorization piece of the track. I probably was halfway through the session before I felt like there were 2 or 3 places I could push. Now I knew what was next. I already see some differences in preference of, how people approach certain turns, or certainly the braking into the first chicane is a little bumpy. So there's a lot to learn, but that's part of the fun.
So as a judge, what we're looking for from these drivers is the opportunity that they take the information that we give them. They can then make themselves a better driver on the racetrack, and then we get to see that instantaneously the next session when we go out there. So we can see whether they can listen to us and comprehend what we're saying, put it into practice, and then see the results.
I'm Jonathan Bomarito. I race the Mazda factory RT24P prototype for Mazda in the IMSA series. We've had 4 really impressive guys here today, all going for a $100,000 scholarship to run in the MX5 Cup series next year.
I'm Preston Pardis. I'm from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Actually, I've had iRacing since 2010, so I'm a 5-star gold member on the forums. Nothing like hopping on, with a few buddies and do a few sessions, but it's great when you're learning a track. There's nothing like physically driving a racetrack. You can look at video data, but nothing does justice to where you want to really place your car, and it really transfers really well. I think you need to do it nowadays.
Hi, I'm Tyler Casera. I'm an at-large nominee here at the shootout, Spec Miata racer, and won a couple championships in SCCA and NASA. iRacing is, I think, a huge tool, great tool for me to prepare for race weekends and just hone my craft and stay sharp when I'm not actually at the track.
Hey, my name is Salim Rayan, 9th year Mazda racer. I currently race Spec Miata. Honestly, the first thing I thought of when I got in this car was how similar it is to iRacing.
Took us one final session, but we do have a winner of the $100,000 value scholarship into the 2018 Mazda MX-5 Cup, and that winner is Celine Roland. Congratulations.
It's incredible knowing that now I'm a Mazda factory driver. I work for Mazda, Classic Mazda in Orlando, Florida, and now I'm a Mazda factory driver. It's kind of my life now, even more than it was before. Just a professional race car driver. That's what everyone's dream is, and my dream has become a reality.
One driver of note, John Allen, came here today mainly with an iRacing background, and it was pretty impressive actually, I must say, how he started off, that he drove 3 sessions, every session solid improvement, lap times were coming down. I was very impressed actually with his approach, and a lot of that comes through the iRacing, and you really see how beneficial that is for these drivers trying to come up through the ladder.
I've just started to watch my son get involved in iRacing, and it wasn't available when I was around, so I'm really captive now about how it can increase the ability for a driver to come to a racetrack and know the racetrack and really have a good feel of what to expect, and we're seeing that with all the iRacing competitors that we've had come through the program so far. And this year with John Allen, and I've already said this to him, remarkably impressed with how well he has done.
So through our partnership with iRacing, John Allen beat 17,000 other online racers to make it here today, which in and of itself is an incredible accomplishment. He showed today that he absolutely deserved to be with the 3 other drivers on track. He showed consistency.
Yeah, absolutely, Randy. This track here is, like you said, it's pretty flat, but that doesn't mean that it, you know, you can still make a little bit of running or a little bit of passing on it, but it's going to take a little bit more work because you don't have that banking to kind of catch a car when you throw it into the corner. So you got to be a little bit careful on corner entry, but this is still one pretty awesome track. It's a lot of fun to run as well. Yeah, it looks like second lap is definitely the lap to definitely a lap that these guys are really improving. You know, the first lap might just be getting a feel for the track. You know, maybe if they didn't run a practice lap or whatever, but definitely seeing some improvement as Petri Kotavara actually goes upside down at the very end of his little qualifying run there. But it seems like second lap is definitely the one that that a lot of guys are taking. You know, a little bit more aggressive, definitely some improvement. Yeah, these dirt sprint cars, especially the non-wing ones, are very popular with the masses, especially since we've been covering them. You know, we've been seeing more races go split, you know, in 2 splits. But you know, it's great that these little cars are getting an international reach to countries that people may not be too familiar with these cars that run on dirt.
field is going to run through. Turns out I did not unmute my microphone, so I've been muted the entire time. Shout out to the people yelling at me in chat as these guys are going to work their way through. Field is going to go to Green Flag Racing, as it's going to be the one of Austin Selman. Leads them down in towards corners number 1 and 2 for heat race number 1 as I hide my face in shame.
Austin Selman gets an excellent jump there. He's jumped out to a pretty good lead so far coming off of turn number 4. It looks like we have a side-by-side racing for second place between Vinny Sansone and Thomas Lewandowski there. Coming off turn number 2, they're still side-by-side. Going to get a little bit close, but going into turn number 3, 4, Thomas Lewandowski going to try slide job. He's going to make it work. He's going to take second place as Vinny Sansone. He's going to fall back to, I believe that is 4th or 5th, can't really see. It's been one of those days so far, Andy.
Yeah, it's definitely basically the main situation here is these guys are going to work themselves off the corner and out of straightaway once again. And you see a number of drivers really fighting here in this field as I just managed to break our overlays, Chris.
That's fantastic, but so far that battle seems to be for 3rd place. They're all running really close. 4 cars under a blanket. Coming across the line, Trevor Royer rather still holding on to 3rd. He's running that top sign pretty smoothly, but Ryan O'Toole looking on the bottom, trying to get something to work here. Going into turn number 3, gets it turned pretty good, but he doesn't have that momentum on the outside like Trevor Royer does. He's gonna hold on.
So this fight for this spot is still tied. We're actually going to see Vinny Sansone get into it with Jared Turnbull. That was a bit of an aggressive move. Going to get that up on your replays right here, right now. Let's see what exactly happened in this incident. Looked like a really aggressive move from that number 8 car. Set that number 6 around, and Sansone has gone from the front row all the way to the back in this heat race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Vinny Sansone's definitely shown that he's very fast. Just a little bit of an aggressive move there by Jared Turnbull. Unfortunate circumstances for Vinny Sansone after having an excellent starting position.
So down the back straight for the final time for heat race leader Austin Selman. He's going to come off that 4th corner and he's going to make it look easy. The checker flag flies for him. Then you're going to have your running order appear on the left side of your screen as they cross the line. Lewandowski, Royer, O'Toole, Turnbull, and Sansone will be the 6 cars as they finish here. We're going to now begin setting the grid for heat race number 2, and that is now going to appear on the left side of your screens. Chad Robinson on the front row with Dave Bodio in 2nd, Alex Krasper, Kenneth Dake, and Petri Kottavara, the man from Finland, who are going to bring all the action here in heat race number 2.
Chad Robinson starting on pole for heat race number 2. We've seen him week in, week out be very fast. Hopefully he can continue his little hot streak here in heat race number 2. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him run up front during the main event.
So just waiting on these guys to take to the grid and get out there. And then we'll be seeing some good and exciting racing. Only 5 cars in this second heat race, and once again, because there's not a lot of drivers in this split, there will not be a B main or a last chance qualifier or a consolation race, whatever you decide to describe it as. There will not be one. All drivers will be transferring directly to the main event in this one, as that Robinson Racing number 2, with not only angry teeth on the left front and eyes on the hood, also has angry eyes and angry teeth on the helmet as well. So Chad Robinson, he wants to let you know that he's vicious and he will bite you. Advise getting a rabies shot if you're going to run with Chad.
Yeah, Chad Robinson definitely shown that he's a force to be reckoned with, not only on the track but also on his car. As you said, definitely a rabies shot, maybe tetanus as well, because you never know where that
I don't think his teeth are rusty.
Fibers back. Oh well, you know, it's better safe than sorry. You know,
it is true. It is true. These guys are going to work their way cross start finish for the first time. Head down towards corners number 1 and 2. Chad Robinson, of course, has been one of the quickest drivers in this series, so he's always really one to keep an eye on. And Dave Bodio, though, he's made some moves. We saw a couple of drivers make some. David Heileman actually make a fantastic move on Bodio at Lima Land a couple weeks ago. But green flag getting ready to be put in the air. The number 2 of Chad Robinson in command of the field. And they wait through corners number 3 and 4. When will Chad decide to get on the throttle? We are green, first of 8 laps, and heat race number 2 are underway.
Chad Robinson getting off to a great start, but here comes Dave Bodio throwing it down to the inside. Couldn't quite get it to stick there. Chad Robinson currently your leader going into turn number 3. Dave Buddio's right behind him. He's running a little bit higher. Coming off turn number 4, Dave Buddio's going to diamond it down a little bit. He's going to reel it in. Now he's going to go up to the high side, trying to get a little bit of momentum to try to get around Chad Robinson there. He's right there on his left rear. Gonna dive it down, looking for a slide job in 3. Coming off of 4, they're gonna be side by side at the line. Chad Robinson holds on.
So their main wheel to wheel, as you see, Robinson's going to go up to the top. Bodio going to try to work the momentum down low, and he's going to get it. To the inside goes Dave Bodio, swapping the lead every side of the racetrack, and they're going to swap it again, but Robinson has the momentum. Up top, Bodio tried to throw the slider, but he was not able to get clear off that corner. No, contact between your race leaders. That's going to send Robinson around, and he's going to go all the way to the back. Replay up on your screens.
Dave Budio just licked a stamp and sent it there in turn number 1. I'm pretty sure I can actually guarantee Chad Robinson's not going to be happy about that, but that's just a product of these non-wing sprint cars. That was some really good racing there for the lead while we had it.
It definitely was. Dave Bodio is going to, I think, be thankful for that race lead, but shouldn't be too thankful as Chenowth Jr. is now in the 2nd spot. Him and Alex Krapser, they're duking it out for the 2nd place position. Pedrico Tavara is there, but not very close. But Chad Robinson, he cycled down to the back. It's going to be exciting watching him try to run through the field in the feature tonight.
Absolutely. Chad Robinson, like you said earlier, he's one of the best here for a dirt night in these non-wing sprint cars. With him starting in the back, it's going to be very interesting to see what moves he's going to make and also what moves he's not going to make to try to get back up to the lead.
So the fight for 2nd is still on as we begin the final lap. Chenowth Jr. currently holds the position with Alex Krasper not very far behind, but it's going to be Dave Bodio who wins the 2nd heat race, and who's that who gets set a little bit? I believe it's Alex Krapser. He's going to go from 3rd and nearly loses that 4th spot to Peter Katavara. Katavara was only a 1/10 of a second back, wasn't quite able to make something of that and take advantage of the situation, and Chad Robinson is going to round out your top 5. So your feature event coming at you right here, right now. And let's run down your starting grid. So on the front row, Austin Semmelman and Dave Bodio. We just saw that issue with Bodio as he was fighting with Chad Robinson. Will he have another incident perhaps with Semmelman? What's going to happen here? Thomas Lewandowski and Kenneth Dake Jr. on row 2. With Trevor Royer and Alex Krapser, row 3. Ryan O'Toole and Peter Katavara, row number 4. With Jared Turnbull, Chad Robinson, row 5. And Vinny Sansone, another driver that I forgot about for a moment. He's going to have to come through this 11-car grid in only 20 laps. This is going to be an exciting feature here at the dirt track of Charlotte.
Absolutely. You got a lot of fast guys starting in the back. You got some fast guys starting in the front. We're going to see if maybe Vinny Sansone, Chad Robinson can get up to the front. It's definitely going to be interesting with this 20-lap feature here. Not a lot of time to get it done, but it surely can be done.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of time indeed, and especially these 360 sprint cars. I know the winged guys have complained about the racing this place puts on. A little bit, Chris, because it is, you know, there's not a lot of lines. It's, let's be real, you're going to hit the top of this racetrack and you're going to never separate yourself from that wall. But the racing we saw in heat race number 2, these non-windy cars, they really can move around this place and make different lines work.
Absolutely. You know, we saw the leaders there kind of skating around trying to find their best line. They both had their own lines that were running real good for them. You know, we had a bottom line and a top line. Just all kind of comes down to the driver, what he feels more comfortable with, and that's really the beauty of the USAC cars is if you can find a line that you can make work, not everybody can go to that line. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Pace truck will come on towards pit road on the back straightaway, and the field will be in command of the VLR driver, number 1 of Austin Semmelman. Going to lead them through corners number 3 and 4. Perhaps the best sprint car specialist on the sim. He's going to get on it. Green flag in the feature race. And Semmelman is going to lead them into corner number 1. Lap 1 of 20 now. Being logged. Fight is on for 2nd place though between the 3 and the 4. That's Bodio and Lewandowski scrapping for it.
Yeah, Bodio and Lewandowski got a little bit closer coming off too. I thought we might have seen a little bit of contact, but nothing came of that. But now it looks like Dave Bodio is trying to hunt down Austin Semmelman, trying to get up there for the race lead. He's right behind him going into turn number 3. He's going to go a little bit high. He's going to get it 2 sideways. Saved it miraculously. Managed to not lose too much time. but he did create a little bit of a gap there. He might have a little bit too much stagger in that car, as it seems to be over-rotating just a little bit so far early on.
He's going to go to the middle of the racetrack after that little issue. It seemed like he wasn't overly comfortable up around the top. Look at this gaggle of cars in the mid-pack. The drivers are trying to work their way through the field. Yeah, the two of Chad Robinson gets into a little bit of an issue with the 5 there, shoves them out of the way. But you have Robinson and Sansone trying to run through these slower drivers. They're going to try his hand 3 wide down the front straightaway, going to end up figuring itself out quickly. But Robinson is still trying to work his way forward. As who is that? I believe that was the 9 of Chenowth Jr. He made a move down low in 3 and 4. Excuse me, 1 and 2. Now into 3 and 4. He's going to try to hook up the top, try to reel in the 7 of Alex Crafter. So Chad Robinson from 10th all the way up to 6th already in the opening 6 laps.
Chad Robinson making moves, not faking moves, don't suit me, but he's been doing really good. He went down into turn number 1 and 2, just barely clipped the grass. Seemed like that helped his car turn just a little bit. He definitely made a very impressive move there in 1 and 2, but now he's right there with Alex Crafter. As Crafter gets a little bit higher, comes Chad Robinson looking to the inside, throwing a slide job, maybe not quite fully a slide job, but he's going to take that position, move Chad Robinson up to 5th from the back. Unbelievable drive so far. So
top 5. Next driver in line will be the 11 of Trevor Royer, but we're going to recheck in with the race lead as Dave Bodio has reeled that gap back down to about 0.2 of a second between Austin Selman and himself towards corner number 2, and Bodio gets a run on the bottom. They're going to pull alongside one another in towards 3 and 4. Bodio slides up the racetrack, going to take the line away, but look at the run that Selman's going to get. A little too aggressive for that 3 car, and if he's as loose as he is, I don't know if he's going to be able to make a slide job ever stick here. He's going to get another run off corner number 2, and he's going to try it again in towards 3 and 4, but will he be able to maintain traction? No. So as loose as that car is, Chris, I don't know if he's going to be able to make something stick.
Yeah, I think that what he may have to do is he looks back down to the bottom of Selman. He might have to try something a little bit more aggressive. Maybe use Selman's car as a bump stop, so to speak, coming out of turn number 4. They're side by side. This is as many cars as Austin Selman has seen all night so far, as they keep trading slide jobs here. Going back into turn number 3, Dave Bodio once again with a slide job, trying to get it to stop turning mid-corners. They make contact side by side going into turn number 1. Give that lap to Austin Selman. He's going to slide back up, but here comes Dave Bodio. This may be the clearance that he needs. He's going to take the lead, run the high side. So far, uncontested through 3 and 4. You have a new race leader, Dave Bodio, in the number 3.
So Bodio now leads here at Charlotte with the 1 of Austin Selman in hot pursuit as they head down the back straight and in towards 3 and 4. You see a little bit of that cushion forming, but I don't think we're going to have a long enough race for it to really end up being a factor. Austin Selman trying to keep that gap as small as he can. He reeled him in by a couple hundredths that last lap through, but that is not going to be good enough. He tries to latch onto that rear Nerf bar in towards 3 and 4. And oh, Selman, a little bit of a mistake. I think a little too hot in towards 3 and 4. Had to really get out of it. That cost him a lot of time, and it might just be enough that it hands Bodio the win. Gap now over half of a second.
Yeah, that was very close between him and Bodio. Definitely looked like he threw it in just a little bit too hot, had to jump out the throttle. That basically killed any and all momentum that he had. I don't think with 4 laps to go, I don't think it's going to be enough unless Dave Bodio maybe hits the wall or something, because he's getting really close there in turn number 2. Getting real close to that wall, but so far Dave Bodio has been very impressive so far as he continues to lead here at Charlotte.
The 2 Chad Robinson has checked into these leading battles as well. He's not far off the back of Thomas Lewandowski with only 3 laps remaining in towards 3 and 4. The 11 car, a little bit of a mistake from Trevor Royer. That cost him a bit of time, but not too much. He actually ended up resolving that relatively easily. So a little bit of issues, I thought, but not too much. As the 2 of Chad Robinson, he's going to fight with Lewandowski. Tries to get a run on the bottom, not quite there yet. Shifts up to the top side of the racetrack as the white flag is going to be in hand at the starter stand this time through. As the number 3 machine of Dave Bodio is going to head down the back straightaway for the final time and in towards 3 and 4. It's going to be Dave Bodio, your winner tonight from the dirt track at Charlotte for Friday Dirt Night in the sprint cars. Let's look back as Robinson and Lewandowski are going to fight for it. No, it's going to be Lewandowski who holds on to that 4th position. So for Chad Robinson, up 5 spots in the 20-lap race that went green all the way. If you were keeping track, that was 5 minutes and 11 seconds to put on a full feature.
That's very fast here for 20 laps. That's a very good race. we went caution free. Very happy to see that. But man, awesome run by Austin Selman and Dave Bodio, kind of throwing haymakers there for the first half of the race. It was a very entertaining to watch.
So let's take a look at your post-race results here for the USAC 360 sprint car race from the dirt track at Charlotte. Dave Bodio takes the win by a 1.5 seconds over Austin Selman. Trevor Royer is in third, Lewandowski in fourth, and Chad Robinson round out your top 5. Alex Krapser and Jared Turnbull 6th and 7th. Vinny Sansone not moving up the field through the field the way we initially thought. Then you have Ryan O'Toole and Kenneth Dock Jr. rounding out this one. I think that's really one of the other talking points of that feature race, Chris. The fact that that number, that 8th place runner in the 6th, Vinny Sansone, he did not come through the field nearly as quickly nor aggressively as we thought.
Nah, you know, with Vinny Sansone being as good a driver as he was in his heat, I believe he gridded second, you know, and ended up finishing 6th. I expected him to be a little bit faster, you know, maybe a little bit more aggressive, maybe throw some haymakers, but from what we saw, not really making too much noise there in the feature. Kind of a little bit disappointing, but hopefully next week he'll be back in fighting condition. Maybe he can get back up there in the top 5, start mixing up with these guys.
And well, we're going to be stood by, and Chris is going to be stood by with a 2nd place runner tonight. Came so close to winning it. One little mistake took it away. Chris is stood by as Austin Semmelman.
Austin, you were running very well in that feature, trading slide jobs there with Dave Bodio. In the end, what was it, or what were you missing that ended up giving the win away?
Hello, Austin? If you're talking, you're muted, bud. Well, GG that interview. Well, we'll continue to fill a little bit of time here, see if Austin gets back to us about whether or not he's having technical issues or what the problem is, Chris. But you know, regardless, that fight between those two was very, very strong.
Oh, that was an incredible fight between Bodio and Selman. You know, that may have been one of the better races that I've been able to call. Bodio, you know, I started to you know, notice that every time I mentioned his name before the heat race, something happened. So I started to, you know, understand the commentator's curse, talk about the field in general, not try to focus on one car. I think that may have helped Bodio here in this case, because he was running very strong the whole night.
That he definitely was. We're going to give it one more try. Austin, you got us? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Hold on, we're going to try something. Austin, you copy? Well, seems like Austin, we know he doesn't run with a mirror, Chris, but he doesn't seem to run with a microphone either.
Yeah, Austin Selman may be a little bit frustrated there, because he definitely was one of the faster cars all night, you know, winning his heat race. And also setting pole by a pretty good gap, but you know, he was running really good. But with Dave Bodio being as strong as he was tonight, just think that pretty good just was not good enough there. But I'm sure next week he'll come back and he'll storm through the field like he always does, and probably will you know, obviously run very strong, because you know, he's one of the, like you said earlier, one of the best sprint car racers on iRacing that we have today.
He definitely is. And with that is going to close out our coverage here on Friday Dirt Night, May the 4th edition. Hopefully you are a fan of Star Wars, and if not, oh well. Thank you to all the people who make this possible. Kris Hohn, Johnny Simone doing the commentary with me, Hugo doing the cameras, as well with the man who does them for the Rallycross and Design with the overlays, Simon Grossman and Nick Tisson on the live timing. Shout outs to you guys for tuning in and for watching, making us a part of your weekend, and we hope to see you next time on Racespot TV, streaming live on iRacingLive. Big race coming this weekend, 24 hours of the Nürburgring. Racespot will be covering 12 hours of it, the first 6 and the last 6. Be sure to tune into that. But until then, we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.